welcome to this video. Okay, today we're going to unbox this Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra 3D printer. I've never seen one before, never touched one before, and I'm really excited to get this open and take a look what's inside the box. Let's just park you up there out the way. So let's get into the box and see what we have inside. I have to doing a voiceover because my wife was in the background listening to an audio book, and at the time I didn't really think much of it because she does it quite a lot, so it's quite nice and relaxing, but yeah, it's quite exciting. It's like Christmas all over again. It's like Christmas morning. Open your favorite present, and there we go. So some power cables you can see there, basically like a kettle lead you have on a PC. Same thing would work. And packaging, lots of packaging. Yeah, it looks quite big, a lot bigger than I thought it was. Quick flick through the manual to see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get this on the floor to lift it because it just won't come out of the box, and it's a lot heavier than you think it's going to be. So I had to put it on the floor to lift it out of the box, and even then it wasn't that easy. But ignore the bald head. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll get. Yeah, that is really heavy. A lot heavier than what I thought it was going to be. I thought that was an empty box to start with, but it's not. It's a little drip tray that you get with it, so to catch any drips of resin when you're taking the build plate off. And yeah, useful, potentially. Precariously balancing it on the edge of the table there, I've got to be said. Okay, so let's be careful with this. Let's take the wrapping off. Let's take it all off. A lot of wrapping, crinkly noise going on there. Okay, so skip past this bit. Wow, lid. The lid is just amazing. It just goes up and down. Just goes up and down. What kind of thing is that? Yeah, it's pretty cool because it means it doesn't. You have to lift it off after it prints something. You can just tilt it back. That's really cool. And there's the cool toolkit inside, packed neatly inside, which is nice. And there's a lot of stuff in here. Some gloves, power block, a scraper, metal scraper, and a plastic one, which is interesting. A USB stick. I do have other USB sticks, so got plenty. And being in my industry, you tend to collect some. There's some filters, Wi-Fi, dongle, some masks, and a chitty box, 3 month I think it is. I'm not going to use that. I probably will use the basic version. Let's put that down. Okay, so here, this is the build plate. This is the bit that actually builds. It touches the LED screen that's inside in the bottom, comes down, touches it when the light comes on, and the LED light comes on and shows the shape that it wants to imprint onto the build plate, and then it stays on for a few seconds and then goes off, and then the tray, that tray there, it's sort of like comes down, build plate moves up a teeny bit, 0.04 millimeters or less even, and yeah, and that's what this thing does. That's where it builds. It's quite heavy, quite sturdy. It's heavier than I thought it was going to be. The quality of the build of this thing is really impressive. It feels solid. You know, when you've ever had an Apple product and it comes, the quality of the product feels really nice and solid. And that's you get that vibe from this. It's like that. It's really impressive. Well, I thought it was. Like I said, I've never seen one before, so so here's a close-up look of all the toolkit that comes with it. USB stick, a scraper, a metal scraper, a plastic scraper, and these are for tightening the. You have to take the bolts out of the vat when you want to start, and then put those in its place, so that whenever you want to take the vat out and clean it or empty it or whatever, it's easy just to use your hands and unscrew the big knobs instead of tiny little screws. So that's all the toolkit, and this is the printer, looking very impressive. Build plate on the top there, the lid feels really sturdy. Yeah, you can open it a bit and it'll just stay open. It's got some friction there. It's the Wi-Fi stick, the aerial. Let's just put that in. The Wi-Fi antenna. It's got a USB. And it's got an on-off switch on the side there. There's a vent at the back for a heater, which is, I've ordered one of those, but it's not come yet, so I'm waiting for that. I think that will be really useful in the winter, because it can get a bit nippy in the winter in the UK. So okay, so here it is, all assembled and unboxed, put together, and I've even switched it on and connected it to my internet. So if you get one, that's the first thing you should do, because it does a software update, and obviously you want the latest software that goes with it. You've got all the connectors down the side here. You've got the USB port, on-off switch, power supply, and this Wi-Fi thing here, dongle, which is quite good. I mean, my Wi-Fi is right there, so it does help. It'd be good if it had a little handle on the front or something. You've got to kind of lift it, but it feels quite robust. One thing this whole system feels, that's a really high quality. It feels really well made. I mean, the materials are, metal and plastic. Yeah, it all feels really solid. And tomorrow I'm going to do my first prints on that. I'm not going to do them in here, in a different place with lots of air ventilation, lots of security stuff, gloves and masks and all sorts, just to protect myself, because I hear the resin is not particularly good. So that's my first thing. There we go, ready to print pretty much. I'll switch it on for you so you can see. Does this like check when it cranks up. Does a lot of calibrations. And that goes up and down a few times. That's tilting. Makes some strange noises, and that's it, is now ready to go. And there's like a few options on the menu here. Tool, manual, screen exposure, cleaning, tank cleaning, which is interesting, and emergency stop. device self-test, which is what it just did, and resin calibration. I'm not quite sure what they are yet, but I'm going to find out. We've got the print menu, but I won't go into that yet because we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Got settings, language, app settings, Wi-Fi, that's where you set up the Wi-Fi. Print mode, service, version upgrade. Go back out of there, and device info. Yeah, there we go. So that's that. It's pretty cool. Can't wait to test it. Temperature's quite low at the moment. It's quite cold tonight, and this room, I haven't put any heating on here in this room yet, so it's only 18 degrees centigrade. I mean, to print you need at least 25, so it needs to be a little bit warmer than that, but that's what it is at the moment, and it's night time. So there we go, ready to rock and roll. With the printer you get this USB stick. There's a few little sample things on it, some chess pieces and what have you, but I've actually bought another one because I was advised to get another, and I copied all the stuff off there to my computer upstairs, but now I've got this ScanDisk USB. Can you see that? It's just a USB stick. I don't know why I'm showing you, but I guess you know what a USB stick looks like. It's just ScanDisk basically, and it's 128 gig, so it should do the trick. And you get this bib with it, which I'm guessing you put on when you take things out to stop any drips, so that might be quite useful, I think. When you take the build plate off and you stop any drips from going into the machine here. I've heard this can be, well, I've seen a lot of people say this can be a bit of a nightmare to clean because of this cavity, but this is sort of spring loaded. You can see that there, bit of pressure. So as when it goes down, it can press slightly, self-leveling. Can you hear that noise? Kind of bubbling away like it's, I mean, it's empty, there's nothing in there, there's no resin in there, but there we go. That's it, ready to rock and roll. So like I say, it's got a little, I've just noticed that it's got a tiny little chip there in the plastic. Little split. Shouldn't cause it any problems, but it's interesting. Anyway, there we go. I've got my washer upstairs, which I'm going to bring down in a minute. And I've got my cure up there as well, so I'm going to bring them both down, get it all ready for tomorrow. The washer's going where this is going, out in the other place, in the other room, where it's safe and we're not going to smell it around the house. Don't want it smelling up the place. And the cure machine's going to be in here, next to my, obviously this is where I paint all my models and do a lot of painting, so I'm going to be doing that in here. Okay, so here is the washer is here. It comes with this little top, and inside it there's like a basket. You can see that. Let's see if I can open it here. There we go, let's put that up there. Yeah, so it's got this little tray thing in here, so you can, once you've printed your models, you put them in there, give them a good wash. People say you should rinse them before you put them in here, so I'll probably do a 2-phase clean, one outside where I'm keeping this, and one in this machine. Put it in there for a few minutes, 5 minutes or so, I think it is. You know, I'm all new to this, so tomorrow is my first day where I'm going to be trying this, so we shall see. Put it in there, put the lid on, stop it from splashing, and then once it's done, let it dry, and you put it in the cure. These towers here, that UV lights, and there's one at the bottom there, so it's got 3 to cure your prints once they are done. And with this, interestingly, where's it gone? You get this little bit here. It's like a little tiny UV light, and it plugs in the side down here. So, you know, if you've got like some hollow and there's a bit of resin in there that's a bit wet still, you can just shine this up inside, and yeah, it will cure it basically. So that's quite cool. And I think these 2 things are going to live in here, and this is going to go into the place I've mentioned to print, and I'm going to have a little washing station out there as well for the first sort of pass wash. Then I'll bring the prints in here, give them a good wash in there, dry them off, and then cure them in here, and then I'm going to paint them here. So that should be fun. That's the plan. Okay, so I've got everything ready pretty much. Just got to give it a go. So that's it, and I will film the whole process, and that will be my next video. So until next time, bye for now.